everyone, welcome back to another one of my videos. This is the fifth video in a series of videos that is exploring the main ideas of different aspects of the college applying process from the lens of a student who already went through them. Today's video will focus on something that can be pretty hard to navigate for many families: financial aid. This is a topic that has a lot to take in, and there are a lot of nuances that can make a big difference between scenarios. I am not going to cover the specifics of each method, as that could just warrant its own series of videos. Instead, I'll give a broad view of the different aspects of the financial aid process. This is not an exhaustive resource, but the links down in the comments can help you get started. So, when it comes to financial aid, there are three main types: grants and scholarships, work study, and loans. I'll discuss the basics of each of those. But before we get into that, let's discuss what most of the financial aid process is based off of. The FAFSA, which stands for the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, and the CSS profile are two very time-consuming but extremely important documents that students wanting to apply for financial aid will need to fill out. I'm not going to teach you how to fill them out, but rather explain how colleges use them. So both of these forms ask you for you and your family's information about earnings, assets, savings, and other economic situation things. They also require you to submit your tax returns from the year prior. So for example, students applying for financial aid this year will submit their 2019 income tax returns. With the FAFSA, after filling it out, you get an expected family contribution. This number basically says how much your family is expected to pay. When applying for financial aid for college, most colleges, almost all, if not all, will ask you to submit the FAFSA. Then they will use the EFC to calculate how much money they should give you in different loans or scholarships, grants, etc. The FAFSA also gives you access to federal funds to help you pay for college. Along with the FAFSA, many colleges require you to submit the CSS profile. The CSS profile does some more detailed questions that the FAFSA doesn't necessarily ask, and it's just another way for colleges to see how much your family can afford paying. The CSS profile does cost, but based off of the numbers that you put into the form, the cost for to submit it to colleges may be waived. Grants and scholarships are the best kind of financial aid. This is money that you do not have to give back. It's essentially free money for college. Grants are usually need-based awards that schools give out. Schools have a very wide range of policies regarding need-based grants, from having a very limited budget to essentially only giving out need-based grants rather than merit scholarships. As I just said, scholarships are usually merit-based. But it can also, depend on where you go. When applying to certain schools, the school may give you an option on the Common App to select to be considered for certain scholarships. Sometimes you have to seek them out yourself, and sometimes you actually just get notified if you're eligible to apply. There are, of course, outside scholarships. These can come from a very wide range of sources, from large organizations to your local church. This also includes pipeline programs like QuestBridge and Posse, which actually encourage you to apply to college through their program with a guarantee of full tuition or full housing paid already. However, the thing with pipeline programs is that they usually have a very select number of colleges that they actually work with, so be wary of that. When looking at grants and scholarships, do in-depth research at the potential school or schools that you're looking at to see what they offer. This is also when I would like to say to not fixate on the school's sticker price. That's, the cost that says, we have $60,000 a year for tuition plus $20,000 of housing plus meals. Most colleges and universities have a lot more money than what a lot of people think. And the general trend is that the more expensive the college or university is, the more money they have to help. This is why most of the Ivy League schools, even though they actually have a sticker price of about $80,000 per year, they tend to be more affordable than your state school. Again, there are exceptions, but that scenario applies to a lot of people. Also, very important, If you're an undocumented student, you can still get grants and scholarships. There's actually a list of schools in a website, which is a list of all the colleges that meet full demonstrated need for undocumented students, which I'll leave in the comments down below. Work study is basically when you are working on campus while studying. This can mean that you decide to find a job while you're in college, or it is actually something that the school or the government actually created, like a program. At many colleges, you can get an on-campus job. You could be at the library, the dining hall, and doing many other things. The money you earn at that job would then be used towards tuition or any other expenses that are not covered by all the other financial aid that you have. So, this is a category that can be extremely tricky. Although I was fortunate enough to not have to take out any loans for college, many aren't. So I'll give my knowledge about loans to the best of my ability. There are federal loans and private loans. Private loans tend to have a much higher interest rate than federal loans. Many student loans also have a grace period, which gives you time, like a few years or maybe a couple only, of time, and that's time that the interest is not amounting. Loans can be also created under the student's parent's name, which are like student parent loans, but I don't know much about them. When discussing the possibility of taking out a loan, make sure that you find someone that knows, more than me about taking out loans, as it can actually be very easy to fall for the wrong loans and then be drowning in student debt for a very long time. I actually know adults that more than 20 years after they graduated are still drowning in loans. The trickiness aspect of the financial aid process also comes in with loans, because even though some schools are like, yeah, we meet 100% of demonstrated need for all students, many actually include loans under that. Make sure to read the policies for financial aid at the schools you're looking at. Something that I think is important to know is that many schools have what is called a net price calculator. I actually think all schools have it. This actually allows you to plug in basic information about the economic situation for your family, and it gives you a rough estimate of how much your family would pay. The most famous program that a lot of schools use is My Intuition. Of course, take that final number with a grain of salt, as the final number can be higher or actually lower than what that number is. Again, I want to say to not fixate yourself too much on that sticker price. There are a lot of opportunities out there that can help you pay for college. The worst mistake that you can make in the financial aid process is deciding to not apply to a school because of that high sticker price, but then you could have actually been able to go there due to all the financial aid that was available. So please make sure to do your research. I'll also put multiple links down in the comments that I think will help you get started. This aspect of the college process can be scary, but you can overcome it. If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. Again, as I've said in other videos, the link to my Twitter profile is linked down below in case you wanna DM me any specific questions about your situation. So, that was all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any other questions, comments, or suggestions about anything of what I said or what I should do in the future, please leave them down below. If there are any tips that you think everyone should know about the college process, also leave them down below. Make sure to have a great day, stay safe, and see y'all later. Bye.